bedtime stories, bedtime hugs, bedtime songs, bedtime math. Every night before bed, my son gets so excited to do bedtime math. This is a book that sits right by his bed. Now, we all know how important it is to read to our children. We read bedtime stories and we read during the day. Our children love to hear stories. It puts them in a good mood, and a lot of times it puts us in a good mood too. But what about math? Have you ever heard an adult say, "I'm not good at math," or "I just don't like math"? What about small children? Have you heard them say, "I'm just not good at math"? Well, why do we have those negative connotations? One thing that I love about this book is that when Laura Overdeck created it, her goal was to put math as an exciting part of every kid's day. And what part isn't better than snuggling up with your parent during bedtime? This is Bedtime Math by Laura Overdeck, illustrated by Jim Pallett. A fun excuse to stay up late. We start out with the introduction. This section is great to read. It's just Laura Overdeck telling us why she started Bedtime Math. And it also has some tips for parents, which I think are great. It shows you where you can find the answers. It also shows you that it's important for kids to see grown-ups enjoying math. And I love that. Then this page tells you how bedtime math works. Again, she is just really encouraging this to be a fun activity, not a test. She's telling you not to worry about your children getting the answers wrong. Also goes over not to worry if you don't do it every night. That's okay. There are several chapters. My child loves to say each number. Whenever we turn to a new chapter, we go through, and he says every single number we go through just for fun. And then this is how each story looks. So on one page, there will be a short story, just about a paragraph. It really doesn't take very long to read it all. And what I love is they are all so funny. She has written them so they sound like a joke. They also have some really cool facts in them that your child will pick up on and maybe remember. And then on the next page, there are 3 word problems. So as you'll see, this one says wee ones. So this is for your youngest kids, or not even necessarily your youngest, but just your more beginner level math children. And then there's a section that says little kids. If your child can do wee ones, you can always move up and let them try little ones. And then there's big kids, which is a little bit harder, which definitely makes this a book that will last a long time in my home. If you'll look down here in the corner, you have the answers. They're upside down. So if your child is really smart and knows to look over there to find the answers, I might suggest you just hold the book just like that and cover up the answers as you're holding it. After we've read a story, this is what our bedtime map looks like. We'll pick one story from the book, usually we start at the beginning, and every day we do a page and we look to see what we'll do the next day. That way we know. So this one is called Playing Catch Up. We've all struggled to get ketchup out of the glass bottle. That may be why the plastic ketchup squirt bottle was invented. Give it a big squeeze and you can squirt a lot of ketchup really fast. When you do, you're packing a lot of tomatoes in that squirt, as every cup of ketchup contains 14 cooked down tomatoes. Squirting ketchup is also more fun than throwing a tomato. While a tomato smacking into something might explode and make a mess, ketchup already is a mess. Now on every page, the story is pretty short and really funny. So at this point, usually my son and I are laughing about whatever we read. In this case, how funny it is to squirt ketchup. And that already puts us in a good mood about this math time. On the next page, we have 3 different word problems, and they're divided up by skill level. You can pick whatever you think is best for your child, and it's okay to start with wee ones, the easiest one, and work your way up. The first one says, if you squirt 3 squirts of ketchup on your hot dog, so at that point I might go, and then 1 squirt on your friend's head, how many squirts did you fire off? Now, this is not test time. This is not time to put your kid on the spot and make them feel stressed out that they have a word problem that they have to figure out right before they go to bed. This is fun. This is time for you all to do it together, just like you do story time together. So you can talk about it. If your child already knows the answer, they can give you the answer, but you can talk about it. You can say, okay, you've done 1, 2, 3 squirts on your hot dog, and then 1 more on your friend's head. So how many were there all together? And your child can count and find out that there are 4. The next one is labeled Little Kids. If you line up some burgers and squirt ketchup on the first burger, and then every 3rd burger after that, which burger in the lineup is the 4th burger to get squirted? And again, you'll talk about the problem together to solve it. And the hardest one on this page is if you squirt 2 cups of ketchup and every cup uses 14 tomatoes, how many tomatoes worth of ketchup did you just squirt? Now this one is a little hard for my child, but what's great is that means I can use this book for a long time. So she has this book, but she also has a few other bedtime math books that we have checked out at the library. They're both wonderful as well. This is one of the books that we have checked out from the library. It's called Bedtime Map, The Truth Comes Out. It's similar to the other bedtime math book. The main difference that I have seen in the other ones is they have 4 levels for the word problems, and the wee ones is definitely a lot easier than some of the word problems that are in the other bedtime math book. So if you have a smaller child who's maybe only 3, this might be a better book for them because, for example, this one has the word problem, and wee ones says, for breakfast, you can choose to visit Bacon, Indiana, Buttermilk, Kansas, Hot Coffee, Mississippi, Ham Lake, Minnesota, or Oatmeal, Texas. They're all real towns. How many towns is that? And which one would you like to visit? So for this one, you're not doing any addition or subtraction or patterns. They're counting, which would be great for really a smaller child. So as you are reading, you'll say Bacon, Indiana, Buttermilk, Kansas, Hot Coffee, Mississippi, Ham Lake, Minnesota, or Oatmeal, Texas. How many is that? And they just have to count as you're reading. And then you have something that you can talk about afterwards. It says, which town would you visit? So they can think about that. And it's something funny that you can talk about. They'll be laughing. They'll have good connotations with this math time, good feelings about doing math together right before bed. As I was researching, I found the Bedtime Math YouTube channel, and they have some great word problems on their channel, which I definitely recommend you looking into. I don't like to have screens during bedtime, so I would not use those in my home during bedtime. But that is an option, and I would definitely love to use that with my son during the day. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.